Checking in from the Star in Frisco, Texas, headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys and the site of the Big 12 Media Days. Arizona State and the University of Arizona are well represented. They each brought 7 players, the largest traveling parties in the entire conference. Plenty of sights, plenty of sounds for the unofficial start of college football season.
At a place they call the Star, home of the Dallas Cowboys, ASU football getting the Star treatment. Year 4 for Kenny Dillingham comes with a lot of new members of the Pat Tillman Leadership Council, new starting QB, new money. ASU football got some big-time donations here recently to help them kind of keep up in the big world of college athletics. So, Coach, is it enough?
You just ask a coach if he's content, right? Obviously, the answer is no, right? We'll never be content, right? You're always striving to be better. You're always striving to push better, push for more, push for more. And the day that I stop trying to push for more, right, is the day that I'm complacent and content, and that's not what you want. There's been unbelievable growth in who we are as an athletic department, as a university, their support for football, but I'll never be satisfied. I'll always want more. I'll always push to want more. And I think anybody who wants to be the very best is going to want the same.
Troy's big takeaway, Kenny has new hair. Let's talk to Kenny's boss. Big things coming up with ASU. Jake Garcia on the road at Big 12 Media Days. He is one-on-one with AD Graham Rossini.
Here from Big 12 Media Day with ASU Athletic Director Graham Rossini. Graham, football season right around the corner. The start of fall camp will be here before we know it. How are you feeling about this year's team, and how excited are you to watch Kenny Dillingham and the squad in action this year?
Yeah, thanks, Jake, for being here. We're excited. You know, you look up, and we're the first media day that's underway, really flying the Big 12 flag proudly, and we'll be playing football in a couple months now, so it's really exciting. There's a lot of excitement around this roster, and a lot of new faces, very active in the transfer portal, a lot of exciting high school talent that's now joining, the fruits of many years of high school recruiting, and so you kind of get these worlds colliding where we had a lot of need on a roster. You get some really exciting skill players out of the portal. You get some blue chip high school players coming in to join the Sun Devil family as well, and so we can't wait to see what we have.
Your guys kicked off the start of this week yesterday at a World Cup match. How did that all come about?
They wanted to go, and it was one of those things where we're like, hey, let's help them arrange for some tickets. Coach Dillingham got the chance to be there with them. You know, we've had some really good memories in AT&T Stadium, so it was nice that they could go and enjoy it as a fan. And that's the cool part about college sports. It's still about, these are young people. They're 18 to 22 still for the most part, giving them a chance to have some unique experiences, getting a chance to see World Cup once in a lifetime in your own country. What a cool thing to do. We'll get a chance to do that in a couple months where we take them to London for the Union Jack Classic.
We'll get you out of here on this. Kenny Dillingham going into his 4th season as head coach. Yep. What's impressed you the most about how he's taken a program that was really, at a low point and elevated it to the point where 8 wins last year may not be up to his own standard?
Well, there's so many attributes about Kenny that I love. I think his love for ASU is evident. Everybody feeds off that. We feed off that excitement as well. His passion for leading and coaching, he's a very skilled coach. He's a big personality and he's fun to be around. He's an incredible football coach as well. And so when you pair that passion for ASU with the skill and the ability he has as a leader of young men, as a tactical football coach, and as somebody who's really, pairing those things together, it's just a fun thing to be a part of, and we can't wait to have him be our coach for a long, long time to come.
That's ASU Athletic Director Graham Rossini. Graham, thanks so much for the time. We look forward to this football season.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, we're going to hear much more from the Devils coming up at 5 o'clock. Jake will be one-on-one with Kenny Dillingham at 6.
Very good.
It's here.
It's in Dallas.
It is.
I got to give it to you guys at 12 News. You go everywhere you have to go to cover local sports.
We're going to be there.
Good job.
Best
Promise you
sports
that.
team.
Like that.
Thanks,
okay.
guys.
Here one-on-one with ASU head coach Kenny Dillingham. Kenny, today you've met with local reporters, national reporters. You just got done talking to international reporters. What has this been like as you promote and message what you've built with the ASU program?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to see, that we're on a national stage, now a global stage. Not just as a university, which has been doing that with Dr. Crow and what he's done with the university, but now as a football program, and it's super fun to watch.
You brought 7 players here to Big 12 Media Day. What about those 7 players made you confident that they were good representations of the program?
They were voted on the Leadership Council, so I didn't pick them. They were picked by their peers. They were picked from the players on their team. They voted those 7 guys onto the council, and those are the 7 leaders of our team right now, and those are the guys they wanted to bring.
You brought 4 guys this week who played high school football in the state of Texas. Was that purposeful, just to show, what can be possible at ASU with attention focused on this state?
I mean, for us, Texas has been a focal point of our recruiting since we got here, moving to the Big 12. I kind of projected that was the move when we took over the job. So I kind of, made a strategy to get into Texas more, into this region.
You got questions earlier today about the disappointing 8-win season from last year. Do you ever take a step back and think what a luxury it is to be talking about an 8-win season like that?
Yeah, the reality is most seasons are going to be disappointing, right? If you establish a culture and establish a standard, right, most seasons will be disappointing, you know, and that's what you want. You don't want every season to just hit your standard, because if you hit your standard every year, that means your standard's too low. So if you would have told me that when we took the job, that I would get that response and that question, I would have kind of laughed. But now getting that, it's like, okay, that's where we are. We're a team that, you know, that's what people demand, and that's the exciting part, is our standard has been raised.
What did the spring teach you about the quarterback competition and the guys you have in that room this year?
Yeah, that they love ball, that they're good people, that they're going to work together, and whoever wins the job, the other people are going to support.
What can people expect from this year's team? New faces, you guys hit the transfer portal hard. What to you would be considered a successful season?
Toughness and us maximizing our potential. You know, I always look at seasons and I never put a cap on it. I never put a bottom. I want to be the very best that we can be, and that changes. The very best you can be changes with injuries. It can change with schedule. It can change with opponents and who you're playing. But I want to be the best we can be. I want to take the field every single week, and I want to play our best game over and over and over again. So what you can expect from us is we play hard, we play tough. Those are the two things I want to see every single week from every team I ever coach, is we play hard, we play tough. That toughness, mentally, physically, people, you can watch us play and be proud.
The Sun Devils, 2 months away from kickoff. ASU back to being underdogs, and that's just how they like it. Jake Garcia at Big 12 Media Days with more.
Here at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where the stars of ASU football took center stage today, their chance to talk their talk before the college football season starts. The sights were bright, the sounds were loud, cameras on for Big 12 Media Day.
It feels great to just get off the plane and get back in Texas, man.
Just to be in the pads again, be around the guys, and to see some of the other athletes around the conference, you know, let them know what's up a little bit.
Can you just kind of walk me through this custom suit that you got on today?
Absolutely. The shield here with Pat Tillman on it. This is actually in the Tillman Tunnel.
I don't want to throw shade to any of the other teams here, but I see a lot of guys not dressed up like you guys. What kind of statement are you guys trying to make with that?
Nothing really external, just showing the type of guys we are.
This will be your first college football season with dad strength.
I'm still getting the hang of everything. It's my first time changing the diaper. It was my first time just making a bottle. I made the bottle wrong one time.
How many pass TDs did you allow last year in coverage?
I just read on ChatGPT the other day, it was 0. But I kind of knew that, but I just wanted to confirm.
People out there who will say you are the hardest hitter on this team. Is that true?
Oh yeah, you know. I may not look like it, but I do a little thumping, just a little bit.
We don't want to be like the same at all.
I show people how hard I work, and I lead by example.
I love this game so much that every Saturday is just going to be one for the books.
To be able to represent the football team and the university it's a blessing to be one of the guys.
Most schools brought 4 or 5 reps to this, but ASU brought 7 players in its travel party. Kenny Dillingham said he wanted people to get a complete picture of what the Sun Devils are all about. Reporting in Texas, Jake Garcia, 12 Sports.
There we go. Thanks a lot, Jake. And thank you, Chat. That's what the kids
said? Chat, Chat GPT?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They talk to Chat like that.
For everything. Seriously,
Chat
everything.
Said this.
Homework,
Chat said that.
life advice.
Appreciate you, Chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Chat.
U of A, meanwhile, did 1 win better last year. Brent Brennan led a 5-win turnaround, and quarterback Noah Fifita is coming back for a 5th year in Tucson.
Arizona going into year 3 under Brent Brennan, coming off 9 wins. They won a trophy. Check this out. U of A using Big 12 Media Day to start a campaign for their quarterback. Noah Fifita's resume was handed out to every reporter within sight, making the case for him to be a Heisman Trophy candidate, right? How crazy is that? Maybe it's not that crazy. Fifita is rare, spending all 5 years at the U of A. For more on the Wildcats, Jake Garcia, one-on-one with the head coach.
I'm here with U of A head coach Brent Brennan. Brent, the last time we spoke was on the field after you guys were wrapping up a win over your rival ASU last year. That wrapped up a 9-win season. What is the state of the program for you heading into year 3 as head coach?
I think we're excited about it, right? We're fortunate that we have a great group of players returning, starting with Noah Fifita with his Heisman caliber resume. I think we're excited about that. But also, there's a lot of other good players that chose to remain at the U of A and are having a good experience, being a part of our program. So I think as long as you've got a good group of players that are ready to lead and push the team, you're in a good spot, and I feel like we're there.
You got up on the podium today, and one of the first things you said was that Noah Fifita is the best story in college football. Why do you feel that way?
Well, it's a combination of all parts of him, right? Like when you look at what he's done on the football field, there's few quarterbacks in the country as accomplished as Noah is, right? But then when you also look at what he does with his faith, with his, the service and the work he does in the community, how he continues to choose the University of Arizona every single offseason when everybody in college football comes to try and buy him and get him to leave Tucson. But he chooses Tucson, and he chooses the U of A, and he chooses our program, and he chooses his teammates, and that is magic, and that's why he's the best story in college football.
You referenced the Heisman caliber resume. There is literally a resume that your team put together. Do you have anything to do with this?
Well, I mean, that's part of the conversation, right? Is it like, I think that's more and more people, as many people as we can get to know Noah's story, the better, because it is the best story in college football, and that story needs to get out there.
You guys have seemingly embraced his Heisman candidacy and the expectations that this year's team has. Is that part of the challenge, though, in messaging to the guys, hey, we're not a secret anymore. We're going to get every other team's best shot this year?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's something you always have to think about. I think no one cares what you did yesterday. And so really, once we, came back to work, in January, it was all about moving forward, right? Like, that was fun. It's in the past. Now, okay, how do we start on this next iteration of Arizona football? What is this team going to look like? How committed are we going to be? How tough are we going to be? Are we going to be able to capture the momentum from last season and continue to improve?
That's U of A head coach Brent Brennan. Brent, thanks so much for the time. Good luck this year.
Thank you. Bear down.
Noah, your teammates tell me that you hate talking about yourself, but the first thing out of their mouths was that you are a legitimate Heisman contender this year. The school is pumping it up with this flyer as well. What does it mean that your teammates talk about you in that way and that the school believes in you in that way?
Man, it's a blessing. It really is. I would be lying if I didn't say I would dreamt of this my whole life. I think every kid has that dream. Every kid's throwing up the Heisman pose. It's probably the greatest award in sports, in any sport. So it's a blessing to be even considered for that. I'm extremely grateful to my coaches and my teammates for hyping it up that way and talking about me that way. But they're the ones that make it possible at the end of the day. Football is the greatest team sport in the world, so any individual accolade, especially at the quarterback position, isn't possible without your team.
How do you guys follow up a really successful 9-win season?
You just got to be ourselves. We have expectations, we have beliefs and a standard that of excellence in our building, and at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. I remember last year coming to this, and we were at the bottom of everybody's rankings. We put our head down to work. So now that people are talking about us in a high way, it's the same thing. Put your head down and go to work.
You pretty much have every single quarterback school record at U of A. What continues to motivate you and drive you to continue to take that next step?
To do something that's never been done in Arizona history, and that's win a conference championship. That's go to a college football playoff. So that's the motivation. That's the expectation as a team. Like I said, it's not about me. It's about the University of Arizona. It's about the team.
What's kept you staying loyal to U of A these past 5 years in an era where, guys are entering the transfer portal left and right? You decided to stay. Why does Tucson mean so much to you?
It's the people. The community has accepted me, has accepted my family since the day I got there. They've showed so much love to even my mom. My mom got so much love when I was in high school being recruited to Arizona, and it hasn't changed. But more so, it's the people in the building. It starts with Coach Brennan, it starts with Coach Deggy, the belief I have in them, the love I have for them, and then it trickles down to the relationships I have in the locker room.
That's U of A quarterback Noah Fifita. Noah, good luck this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Here with U of A wide receiver Trey Spivey. Trey, the first thing you talked about today, and the first thing I saw on this paper right here says Noah Fifita for Heisman. Mm-hmm. You guys were not afraid to talk about his Heisman legitimacy. Mm-hmm. Why is it that you're confident that those kind of words are applicable to your starting quarterback?
I think that I feel like everyone in the world has seen what he can do, what he does on the field. The leadership that he has on the field is shown through the film. And two, you spend every day behind the scenes with him, watching film with him, seeing his process, the most meticulous, most process-oriented person I've ever met.
You are Arizona high school football royalty. Ask you a little bit about that over there. Your dad obviously has deep ties to the Valley, his time with the D-backs. What was his reaction when you decided to concentrate specifically on football and give up the baseball dream?
Man, honestly, he was super supportive. He was like, whatever sport you end up doing, at the end of the day, he's like, I know that whatever you pick, you're going to go far and you're going to be professional in.
The fact that he reached the highest level of his career, how motivating is that for you to write your own legacy and for you to ultimately reach the highest level of what you can be?
I think at first when I was younger, I kind of saw it as like I have to do this because my dad did it. You know, like I have to. I don't want to let anyone down. But I think, you know, as I got older and I continue to grow and learn, I realized, you know, like it's not a curse, it's a blessing. You know, my father's my hero. So, you know, I couldn't ask for a better father, a better mentor, and, you know, just a better person to look up to.
Good stuff there, Trey. We appreciate the time. Good luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate you.